What up? Here I am again, STS, for another simple review. And this film right here, to me, is a fantastic film. It's a 2010 film. It's a sci-fi British fiction monster film, which should have drama. It should be called a science fiction drama, because it was just that damn good. That's called Monsters. Yeah, I borrowed the video store again. There's my phone. But, Monsters, with these two, it follows with these people right here, Andrew and Sam. And that's how the story would go. We can talk about it right now. But to me right now, I'm going to say, this film was very damn good. And I've heard about it. I heard Rainbow Rad for Life and some other people phrasing this. I can say the word, phrasing it. This movie is pretty damn good and whatnot, you know. And I always go past it. It's on Netflix. And I was passed on to it. And then I see the video store and I was like, you know, what the hell, I'll get the Blu-ray. And let's just go with it. And when I was watching it, throughout, when there was a scene in the rain, you know, and all of a sudden it starts raining over and at the window. And so we had a big storm here in Marion. It wasn't really much, it was just a rainstorm, you know. But the story goes off real quick, I mean, because it's just good, you know. It starts off with Andrew. Basically, it takes place, Monsters takes place after this whole NASA, I think it is, a NASA probe crashes in Mexico, leaving the arrival of these giant tentacle monsters. These giant tentacle, like, octopus-looking, kraken kind of wave. And they're pretty, really cool, too, because it starts out a little flashback, like a little war, like a wreck, and then it's just basically tentacle monsters against the army, and the army's trying to kill it and whatnot, and they have a bomb, and boom, and once it kills the monster, that's when it starts as Monsters. But the main story is you got Andrew, who, I'm trying to remember his name, Andrew Kaulder, played by Scoot McNairy. And he is a photojournalist, and he takes a bunch of pictures of where he goes and how and they're in Mexico. And he is to escort his boss's daughter, Samantha Wynden, played by Whitney Able, back to USA through Mexico's infection zone where the creatures reside, because it has a map here. It has Mexico and then a little bit of New Mexico and a little of Mexico. It says the infected zone, and then it goes to the United States. So the infected zone is where everything is. These are all these damn things. I thought there was different kind of monsters and whatnot. No, it's just one single kind of monsters. And these things are growing for everywhere in the trees. They have their eggs right there to get bigger, and they glow and whatnot. But, well, really, he really doesn't want to do it. His boss is like, you know, I really don't want to do it. And he's like, fine, I'll do it. And I don't think she was good. So he picks her up in the hospital, and then they just go on, and they just have a journey. Like the very first 40 minutes, you don't see monsters or nothing at all. They just, it becomes a drama in some kind of way. I mean, they get to, like, they just spend time with each other and whatnot. She's, she's a fiance, and for Andrew, his backstory is that he has a son, but later in the film, it's not his son. It's just he was there for the child. This woman's like, "Oh, I have a son. You have a son, but you're not the father." It's like, well, what the hell? What the hell's that? But he's always been there, because I think he was there because the whatever sperm donor guy, whatever, who just fucked her and left. So he's been there, and he gets really emotional about it and whatnot. But the thing is, though, they the first 25, 30, 40 minutes, they just go and they spend time in Mexico, and they try to get the way over the border, which costs like $5,000. I don't know what money they got. If either her father was rich as fuck, because it was about $5,000, then it was $10,000, because they're gonna get a ferry, and then, well, Andrew kind of like really looks at Sam, you know, like, you know, she's pretty cute, you know, and like there's a scene where he got drunk. He was just trying, it's a king size bed, you know, and she's like, no, like, alright, I'm gonna head out. So he gets drunk as fuck and drinks too many tequila shots, and then he gets to have a one-night stand, and they're just been communicating left and right, you know. He didn't want her to see, oh, you know, this is what I am now all about, you know. I was drunk, you know, that's what happens. But it never got boring. I feel like these two have great chemistry, and that's what this whole movie is. These two, this actor and actress is very great fucking chemistry. They knew they're just right across each other. Like, dude, like, you know, there has to be something here, because I know she's married, or she's gonna get married or whatnot, but there has to be something, because I think he really felt for her. You know, it was that first moment when they're drunk, you know, and then, but she leaves, but he had her passport, but he got mugged because his dumbass left it with that fucking one night stand. Which I'm like, you know, really, you dumb motherfucker. I always leave that shit because I don't trust nobody to take my shit. Fuck no. But they end up getting a boat. They get some people with cahoots, like, you know, it's cool. We can get you through the border or whatnot. And then they actually kind of, they get this boat, they go this long boat ride, and then it's in the dark, and you see one of these damn big ass monsters, but they're fine, you know. They get into the one boat drops them off, these people, these Mexicans, and they drop them off to this little militia, whatever group, to take them with this other family supposedly, which I don't think they even made it. And they basically just hang out more. I mean, they just spend time and just talk, and they talk to people, and they just be with each other. It's like, man, it's great. But great kind of drama. And then we see the big one tentacle monsters just... The trucks, they're all dead, except for them two. And then they luckily get out and whatnot. And not much, you don't see much of the monsters, but every time you see them, they're great. You know, it's just these big-ass tentacle monsters. It felt like it was in a hentai film. You know, but these big, huge things and whatnot. But together, I mean, at the very end, they go, they get to the Mayan temple, they just walk, they get rides and hearsay or whatnot. But the last scene we can talk about. The very last scene is basically they're in the United States. Or I think they're still in the affected zone. I think they're in Texas, I don't know. But they end up in this area, and he gets a phone call. Well, they both have phone calls. Samantha's on the phone in the house. I'm at the house, the gas station, and he's outside on the payphone talking to his son. He's emotional about it, you know, because he missed his birthday. There's another text message. You can hold off, but then they see there's a monster coming out there. There's a tentacle monster comes up, and then it's like and it's on his tentacles going inside the store because they're getting like radiation or energy, because you can see through their body, it's all red and stuff, and you see another one, and like they're mating or they're just loving each other or whatnot, and it was just she came out, he woke up from his little sleep, whatever he had. It was just, they were in tears and loving a moment, you know. It's just like, wow, because they were right from him, and they didn't get healed or nothing, you know. They said if you don't borrow them, they don't borrow you. But at the last moment, because she's talked to her husband and said, oh, it's going to be okay, you know. But then when she gets out the door, you know, oh, this is it, because they're about to come, and she's like, I don't want to go home, you know. And they cry, and then they get to each other, and they're just looking, and they kiss. And then the moment at which it's like, you can just cliffhang it for you, is the army comes, oh, you're not going to be there, come on. One soldier grabs him. They're in this angle, like here, him, and it's her. One army person grabs him, they go that way, after they get in that way, so... But I mean, that was the ending of it. I thought it was pretty damn good. I love this film. These people have chemistry. Samantha, I forgot to say what her name for. Andrew Kaulder, played by Scoot McNairy, and Samantha Wynden, played by Whitney Able. And I just found out too, these people. This movie was so damn good because of these chemistry. It was great. Sci-fi was not kind of. You could see it, but it was not like all mayhem. But and I found out that they're married. That this actor and actress, and they actually dated a couple months before this movie even got in production, supposedly, or whatnot. It's all around the internet. Who knows? You can't believe the internet, but that's the reason why. I mean, this could be one of their big dates. Well, we did a movie together, you know. But it was awesome. I recommend it. Yes, I totally recommend this film. The director, Gareth Edwards. He directed the Godzilla film, which that's not really interested to me. I don't really care about the new Godzilla form and whatnot, but he directed that, and he's about to direct a new Star Wars kind of film expansion thing. But I recommend this film. I love it. It gives it A. It gives it A for me because this is a movie I can watch over and over again. It was just so great. I loved it. And there's a sequel, but it's It's basically from 10 years later, but they're not in it, which kind of suck. But then again, you know, they're out of this mess. They don't need to. But the sequel's called Monsters Dark Content. So I'm going to try to watch that in the future on, even though it's not with them in it. But that's it. Monsters, rent it, buy it, or whatever. Good film, A+, or yeah, A+, 5, I don't care. I said A+, I don't care. It's a good film. Just go ahead and watch it and buy it. But that is another simple review down in the history books. And I'm having fun doing these damn things. I love doing these videos. This makes me review and review myself. But thank you for all who watches these videos and whatnot. It's just a simple one-take shot. I mean, I'm not a good editor or whatnot. But it's pretty good. And we'll see you for the next review. Simple review. Peace.